All right, now that you've read chapter 3, let's talk about what happened in chapter 3. So just to make sure that we've got the gist. So this is going to be short, obviously, but you should know that Cat, which is Kaczynski, he gets beef, beans, straw, and bread for his friends. The men discuss the politics of war and remember their military training. And then the men beat up their old Corporal Himmelstas, which is kind of a huge incident. What I want you to do is, in your notebook, I want you to answer these two questions. And if you need to use your story or the chapter to go back and look to, the information I'm asking you is from pages 20 to 24. So you don't have to necessarily scan the entire chapter. So the first question is, what are Cat's and Crop's ideas about war, and how do they compare to the soldiers' current circumstances in the military? So do they align? Are they in line with what they were trained to do and what they're currently up against? Or are they completely different? And then the second question is, according to Cat, how does power affect relationships between the soldiers and the officers? So does it alter things? Does it make things better? Does it negatively impact them? So looking at that situation and when someone feels power, how does that affect or alter or change, contribute to the relationship between soldiers and officers? If you're not really sure what I'm asking you to do, think basically, like in Kat's opinion, what is the Army based on? If you're really stuck on that relationship part. And then I think you should be able to figure that out. All right, your exit ticket, looking over the entire chapter 3 and all of the things that took place. If you had to choose just one incident, which incident in chapter 3 best reveals comradeship and why? And then when you're finished, make sure you turn that into the tray. And then to kind of get you started, even though you're not going to fully start chapter 4 at this moment, I mean, you can, but I want you to flip to page 25, which is the beginning of chapter 4. And I just want you to read page 25, and I think it's just the first part of 26. So you're going to start from the very beginning where it says we have to go up on wiring. That's on page 25. And then stop at the end of the paragraph where it says shivers and falls on guard. But I want you to take a moment and just based on that piece that I've had you read, not the entire chapter, just that section in your notebook, I want you to write down the initial descriptions of conditions on the front. And so initial descriptions are like those first descriptions. How is it detailed? How is it being described? Conditions is like the situation, what they're dealing with, what they're up against. Is it, and it goes beyond just, is it a good condition, bad condition? I want to know like how horrible or how good, I doubt that we can use the word good, but how horrible are the things that they're dealing with on the front. So those descriptions, and you can do a bullet list. It doesn't necessarily have to be in complete sentences, but I want you to try to find as many details you can from that section of the reading that I'm having you do in regards to what they're up against and how it's being described on the front.